So there was this thing going on where, like, Mr. Beast offered to buy TikTok, which then led to Rosanna Pansino basically calling him out on Twitter, or X, I guess it's called now, excuse me, and then being like, how did you afford that? She literally tagged the IRS and the FBI because, like, all of Mr. Beast's financial records are public, so, like, and a lot of his money goes towards charity and videos. The question then came up, oh, okay, where's all this money coming from? But, like, fun times. I've been trying to think a lot about, like, house design stuff, too, as we work on the new house, just in terms of, like, we want to put a library in, what do we want that library to look like, how do we want to organize our book collection, how do we want to make everything, how do we want to make a podcast is another thing, because I don't know if you guys know this, but our current podcasting space is for Kitchen Island, and, like, it's fabulous. Like, I love podcasting, but the only thing is we also use it as our kitchen, and we use living room as our living room, and, like, it's just generally, like, I don't feel like we have enough space in this house. Like, and, like, we're struggling to figure out how to fit everything into it, which is why we have a kitchen island / dining room / conference room table / podcast studio.
I have to figure out podcast studio.
Oh, oops. Living rooms. Oh, that's in the basement, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Living room right now is our smallest part of our house. It makes up, like, about probably an eighth of our first floor.
The living room?
Yeah.
It's 50%.
Well, I don't count the area near the stairs.
That's the living room.
That's stairs. Okay. I don't count that as a, yeah, a lot of our 50% is theoretically living room, but we still have a lot of open space because of how our house is organized. We have an open floor plan, which is another word for, we're trying to fit a lot of things into a very small house. Sips orange juice. Yeah, I'm recording this from our desk setup / office, which, by the way, is also in our living. So it's just like everything's squished. We're building a new house so we can unsquish. And that way we can have like a dedicated space as like a living room area. We can have a dedicated space as a kitchen. We can have a dedicated office. We can have a walk-in closet. We're even planning to put a library in the new house, which I am so stoked about. And a huge fitness studio in the basement because our fitness studio, get this, is also our living room. Shocking. But yeah, we're getting all of that good, and then as part of designing your house, picking out flooring, figuring out like what appliances we want to get, probably Mealy or like Thermador or something. We really like those two, and then like, well, we have to throw out washer dryer. Like, there's a whole bunch of fun stuff to sort out, and it's gonna. Part of the reason we're looking at this now is because it's going to take a lot of time to figure all of this stuff out. Like, we intensely customized this house, and I do mean intensely. Like, literally, this is on top of this camera is on top of a built-in desk structure that we added into the house. That wasn't there, but at one point there was a wall, living room and kitchen, kind of, you can see the pillar right there in the background, and that went forward, and then basically just like blocked off half of the house because we're trying to squeeze more space out of things, and we built a storage solution by building a wall. But yes, we did make a lot of build the wall jokes as we were putting it up, and then we made a lot of tear down the wall jokes as we to just have a podcasting space that's dedicated to that. That space is dedicated to fitness, and the space is dedicated to reading and cooking and like a space dedicated to cooking is called the kitchen, which we do have one of. But like, it's just squished, and I'm so excited to unsquish. Other stuff we're trying to figure out is like housing location, which I'm not going to go into too much detail about where precisely we're planning on trying to live, but we're sorting that out and looking through different lots that are in existence for where we might be able to build things. This has included looking at some houses that are not on lots, that are pre-existing, and being like, okay, Can we buy a pre-existing house for the land and then tear down that house? And we found a couple here and there, but gonna be honest, the real estate market right now is such a mess that, like, if anyone, like, I feel like if you have a house on a property, like, just the suggestion that there could be a house there is enough to just skyrocket the prices for absolutely no reason. And it's not like a problem of, like, hey, we don't want to spend money on a really expensive house. It's a problem of, well, the house is really expensive. It's not really a smart investment right now with, like, how the real estate market is. It's probably going to do a little bloop and just, like, well, crash is my guess. Calling it right now, housing bubble's going to burst. You heard it. You heard it first here, folks. And I say that off of pretty much an educated guess, but I don't think the housing bubble is going to keep going through 2025 or so. Yeah, really having to resist the urge to make an invest in crypto joke here to get added to the list of YouTubers who have been arrested for crypto scams. But I'm not going to do that because we're better than that. Oh, by the way, new shirt, new digs. Got this from
Aviation Nation.
I was about to say that.
Aviator Nation?
Aviator Nation. Got this from Aviator Nation. It is incredibly comfy. If you'd like to sponsor us, come give us a chat. Drop a Aviator Nation if you want to sponsor us. Just like let us know because clothing is pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, we've been trying to look too for, like, as we go into 2025, we've been trying to look for more brands that we could get that are, like, quality over quantity, and Aviator Nation's a good brand. Yeah, really like their stuff, really like everything they have to offer. I used to wear a lot of Lululemon, which, like, Lululemon's, like, quality over quantity-ish, but they casually stopped stocking anything above, like, a large, so I'm protesting their existence and not going there. Also, gonna be honest, as much as I like a lot of their clothing, there are a couple of things that just do not work for me. In that selection, it's very random, like, does and doesn't work there. Something else I'm trying to do tonight, which I'm hopefully gets wrapped up, is I am making a vision board for 2025. Very exciting. Did you share your vision board already on this? Or maybe it doesn't make sense to share that on the
How would I share
actually.
it on there?
Like, just like a little photo, just like...
No, if they'd see it on Instagram and everything.
And we can talk about our vision board and be like, oh, this is what I want to do in 2025, and so is this, and this, and this, and this, and this. Which, my list is going to probably include getting a GMC Yukon, doing more reading and more exercise, and just practicing more mindfulness, because I do this thing where I get way too stressed about stuff without, like, really pulling back. So I, like, my big focus in 2025 is, like, don't get really stressed about stuff. Like, if you're worried about something, worry about it in the window of time it makes sense to worry about it on. And then stop caring, which, honestly, not caring is a really good strategy to get through life. Like, I don't mean not caring as in, like, just flagrantly would be a fragrance. Just flagrantly, like, not caring about anything going on in the world and being like, whatever, I don't care. I mean, I don't care as in being, like, knowing when it is your place to care and when it is not your place to care. Anyways, I think I've been rambling. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to my words and my rambles. We were sponsored by, I don't know why I adopted a bad southern accent there. We were sponsored by DJI, sponsored by Sony, and that's it. That's the list. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see y'all tomorrow at an earlier time than 6:30. Bye!